All right, today I want to talk to you about translating from English to algebra. So this is our beginning of solving word problems. I know you're all groaning, word problems. Well, they're really not as bad as most people make them out to be. It all takes a little bit of focus in a particular way. I have shared with you in this document the Translating English to Algebra worksheet here, which is 1 through 21. But in addition to that, I've also shared with you a sheet that you can make a copy of into your own notes on your own Google Drive. And that sheet is really a table of all the translation, well, not every translation, obviously, but several translations of different phrases from English to algebra and how that works. So please take a look at that and read it through. Please also notice that when you get to the subtraction ones, order matters. Take a careful look at how it's written compared to how it's translated. All right, so first one, I want to look at number 1 on the worksheet that you have as your assignment. I'm going to be doing several of these problems, so please make sure that you've looked at it and that you are reading along while we're doing the YouTube video. Number 1 says that, I think it says Jeannie and Bill were working together on an art project. Bill worked 2 hours less than Jeannie worked. So who are we talking about? Jeannie and Bill. Those are naming it. Now we'll talk more about this in the next lesson next week, but naming it, that's what you want to do first. Who are we talking about? Jeannie and Bill. We have to pick one of them to represent the unknown. Now when you read through this, Bill worked 2 hours less than Jeannie worked. The one that's talked about is Bill. It says Bill worked. It doesn't say, and it explains about Bill worked. It doesn't explain about Jeannie worked. So let's use J, for example, for Jeannie. Jeannie is going to be represented by J. So Bill worked 2 hours less than. When you see less than and no is, that means subtraction. And it means it's going to go second in the subtraction. So we're subtracting 2. From what? From the number of hours that Jeannie worked. So if Jeannie is J, Bill is going to be J minus 2. Now if I go down below here and we go to number 2, this week Jack worked 6.5 hours more at the supermarket than he worked last week. Both cases we're still talking about Jack, but we don't want to put Jack for both things. What is more specific? It's the amount of time Jack worked this week compared to last week. So that's what I'm going to title them, this week and last week. So the next thing is we have to pick one of them for the variable. Now, the thing that's talked about is this week. This week, Jack worked 6.5 hours more at the supermarket than he worked last week, comparing it to last week. So last week is going to be my variable. So this week, he worked more hours. Now, it doesn't matter the order when you're adding, and more hours would be adding, so L plus 6.5. Or you could say 6.5 plus L. That's how you do 1 and 2. The next example I'm going to look at is number 8. And we're just having to fill this in. So I'm going to erase this and go right to number 8. Number 8 says, this year a company's earnings decreased by 1/3 of its earnings last year. Well, if L is last year, well, let's make it a that L. Doesn't matter what kind of L you use. They used an italicized L. This year, oh, good grief. Got to make a mistake in at least every video. All right, this year we have to figure it out. Now it's decreased. What was decreased? The amount last year minus 1/3 of last year. So you could have written that 2/3 L, and that's how much the earnings were this year. The next one I'm going to look at is the problems 18 to 21. I'm going to do all of those, 18 to 21. All right, here's the trick in 18 to 21. You have to read what it says above. A sausage pizza cost $3.25 more than a cheese pizza and $4.50 less than a combination pizza. Well, it's when it says "and" in that italicized, it's saying we're still talking about the sausage pizza because it hadn't changed who it's talking about. Sausage pizza costs $3.25 more than cheese, and at the same time, the sausage pizza costs $4.50 less than a combination pizza. So if you had to figure out these values, the pizza that costs the most is going to be the combo pizza. The pizza that costs the least is the cheese, because the sausage is between these two. This is more expensive. This is less expensive than the cheese pizza, the sausage pizza. In number 20, it goes on to say, if S is the sausage pizza's price, what is the price of the cheese pizza? Well, the sausage pizza is more expensive than the cheese, but that also means the cheese is less expensive than the sausage by that same amount. So sausage minus $3.25 would be the value of the cheese pizza. In number 21, the price of the combination pizza in terms of sausage S plus $4.50, because it said that the sausage pizza, in this one, the sausage pizza is more by $3.25. That means the cheese pizza is less by $3.25. The combo pizza is more by $4.50 than what? Than the sausage. So sausage plus $4.50 would give you the price of the combo. Sausage minus $3.25 is the price of the cheese pizza. I hope this is helpful to you. If not, or you're having trouble with a particular problem, please send me an email or call and ask about a particular problem, and I'll talk you through it. Thanks very much, and that's it for this week.